For more than 600 years, Prague has been looked upon by the towers of St. Vitus Cathedral. The cathedral is the biggest and most important church in the Czech Republic, the seat of the Archbishop of Prague, and the place where saints, kings, princes and emperors of Bohemia are buried. The coronations of the kings of Bohemia were held there until 1836. It's one of the best examples of Gothic architecture in the world. It seems many others have discovered this too, but it is worth the wait. This part is free, but from here on you must pay.
The construction of the present-day Gothic Cathedral of St. Vitus started in 1344. King John of Bohemia laid the foundation stone for the new building, and construction continued under the reign of Charles IV. Construction had to be stopped when a new king, Charles's son Wenceslas IV, came to power. When the Hussite War broke out in 1419, St. Vitus Cathedral stood unfinished for almost 600 years. The war and a fire heavily damaged parts of the cathedral and its furnishings. Only in the latter half of the 19th century was the construction completed in a neo-Gothic style. In 1844, architects presented a program for the renovation and completion of the cathedral at a gathering of German architects in Prague. The church was solemnly consecrated in 1929 at the time of St. Wenceslas's Jubilee. Despite the western half having many neo-Gothic elements, during the restoration, many of the original architect Peter Parler's designs were used to give it a unified look. In 1954, a government decree placed the whole of Prague Castle into the ownership of all Czechoslovak people and into the administration of the President's office. St. Vitus Cathedral remains as one of the important ecclesiastical buildings in the Czech Republic. Undoubtedly, the St. Vitus Cathedral has had a major influence on the development of late Gothic-style elements in Central Europe. Members of the Parler family designed numerous buildings across Central Europe and also in the Czech Republic.
The Romanesque architectural style current in Europe from about the mid-11th century to the advent of Gothic architecture was a fusion of Roman, Carolingian, Ottonian, Byzantine and local Germanic traditions, a product of the great expansion of monasticism in the 10th and 11th centuries. Larger churches were then needed to accommodate the numerous monks and priests, as well as the pilgrims who came to view the saints' relics. It's cold in a cathedral in Prague on top of a hill in winter, but it's even colder out in the square around that. So some sustaining food and drink may be needed. The so-called Golden Lane is flanked by two round towers, both built in the 15th century as notorious prisons. Golden Lane itself is a street of small row houses just north of the fortified section of the castle, originally built for royal alchemists and other castle servants. Writer Franz Kafka lived there in 1916-17. Further north, beyond the Stag Moat, which is a ravine where deer once were kept, is the Royal Garden. Along its southern edge is the ball game hall of the 1560s, built as a gymnasium but now used for exhibits and concerts. take in the Gothic grandeur. Or simply admire the magnificent stained glass windows. Do you know, we never did find that karuna, not even 5 hellers. So we'll be back.